All right. Well, we are at war for sure, no doubt about it. So our first article comes from MSN. Why did the U.S. attack Iran? What we know so far. President Donald Trump said the United States and Israel launched, quote, major combat operations, unquote, against Iran on February 28th after the largest buildup of American power in the Middle East since 2003, U.S. led invasion of Iraq. Trump also called for Iranians to overthrow their government. Side note, I heard somewhere, uh, TikTok, take it with a grain of salt, that the Iranian or whatever broadcasting systems were hacked and all television was just showing like a video of Trump saying overthrow your government kind of thing. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
true. It's a grain of salt. Explosions were observed in Tehran and at least five cities.
Bahrain.
Tehran, yeah, Tehran, Tehran, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think it's Tahrain.
Tehran, okay then, and at least
Who
five
cares?
cities.
It's gone
I
now.
know, right? At least five cities across the country, and Iran's military started retaliating against Israel, according to the Israeli Defense Force. There were also explosions and sirens alerts reports reported in several Middle East nations where the U.S. had military bases. Let's see. How it started. Pentagon has named the operation Epic Fury. Israel's military codenamed it Roaring Lion. Israel initially launched the operation and then was joined by the U.S. The explosions in Tehran were reported early in the morning Eastern Time on February 28th, which is mid morning in Iran. Within hours, Iran started sending missiles towards Israel, and there were reports of attempted strikes against U.S. military facilities in Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates. I've never heard that. And
Yeah,
Qatar.
Emirates, the
Emirates?
United Arab
Emirates?
Emirates.
Yeah. I don't know. A blanky says A, but you're probably right. And Qatar. Some nations and missiles were intercepted. I did hear reports that. Actually, no, I didn't even. Oh, I got rid of it. I did hear reports that like three or four U.S. military service members are dead from
Whoa.
from the operation. So the number of
They
casualties
forgot
from the.
to
Sorry,
they
continue.
forgot to include make no mistakes into their Claude prompt.
Oh yeah. The number of casualties from the attacks and reprisals were not immediately known. The United Arab Emirates Defense Ministry reported one civilian there was killed by falling debris. Iranian state media reported that dozens of children were killed when a missile struck a school in Manab in southern Iran. USA Today could not immediately verify that report, and it'll go back and forth for that. What does Trump want to achieve in Iran? The White House has been ramping up the pressure from Iran for months. Trump has at times said he was displeased with the way Iranian authorities violently cracked down on protesters in December last year. He also said that he wants Iran to agree to a new deal on its nuclear program. Trump said on February 27th that he was, quote, not happy, unquote, with the way attempts to solve the issue diplomatically were progressing. Still, some national security experts have questioned Trump's strategic logic for attacking Iran. Uh, don't care. Uh, don't care some more. Mm, what happens now? Iran analysts have expressed concern that the attack could spill over into wider regional war. Uh, quote. Let's be clear. This could have catastrophic consequences. Unquote. Said Trita Parsi, the co-founder and executive director of the Quincy Institute, a Washington D.C. based think tank. I don't care for think tanks. Parsi said that this would, quote, not only put countless U.S. troops in the Middle East in the line of fire, but a risk of massive multi-front expansion of the war and other uncontrollable chaos, from state failure and civil war to ethnic conflict that spread through the region, unquote. And whether that happens remains to be seen. The U.S. has said the operation could last several days. I've heard somewhere that it could now start, be weeks. Number 4, 4 weeks keeps coming up, but I don't work for the government, so I can't tell you. Other Iranian specialists have cautioned that if Trump is able to force Iran into a new deal over its nuclear program, it may not improve on the one negotiated by the Obama administration. That agreement limited Iran's uranium enrichment capabilities and was widely regarded to be working when Trump pulled the U.S. out of it. He pulled the U.S. out of it during his first term. However, the as JCPOA, as the deal was called, did not address Iran's ballistic missile program and its support of regional militant groups. Trump said the U.S. would, quote, destroy, unquote, Iran's missiles, quote, annihilate, unquote, its navy, and ensure proxy groups such as Hezbollah and Hamas are no longer able to destabilize the region. Quote, and we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon, unquote, he said. Okay, so, not really, at least I don't imagine we'll get into the politics of war, but more or less the economic ramifications of it, because there will be. Now, this should be noted, we don't know how long this is going to last. They projected days here. I've heard it's now being projected as weeks. Could be longer. I don't think we were supposed to be in Iraq in 2001. I don't think we were supposed to be there for 20 years. And, well, we were, but who knows? So, when it comes to... Oh, sorry. When it comes to issues such as like war, when it comes and the economy, military conflict and energy supply shocks are going to be coming. That's actually the second article that we have is the like Iran has closed one of their like oil ports. We'll get to that in a bit. But the shocks can be a major factor for things such as inflation, resource scarcity, and it can disturb global. No, it can't. It probably will distort global markets. So I went, and you can get, and you're Keynesian, so we'll get into this. But I have a note here. It says war dramatically alters a nation's use of scarce resources. Governments frequently choose to print money to purchase war materials instead of increasing taxes. The U.S. government buys goods with the printed money and does not change, but that doesn't change the amount supplied. So when you, now granted, I understand that the U.S. government, when they buy MREs, they're not buying from your local Papa John's unless they're doing something big. But it's still, like, these companies still have to shift resources towards, usually when the U.S. government buys things from you, you take the deal because it's more or less guaranteed production and guaranteed profits. So, now what does that mean? Well, it doesn't change the amount supplied. These companies aren't going to start building more warehouses just because they predict a 4-week war to go on. So, as more of the country's resources are diverted to the military supplies, civilian goods become scarce. This leads to inflation. How long the inflation could last how long the conflict lasts could affect the amount of inflation. We're not sure. But inflation usually comes with war. I imagine gun prices would go up for a bit, if I had to guess. Usually wars aren't positive, so there is a possibility that not possibility, I actually heard somewhere that stocks are essentially pre-crashing before the markets have even opened. Do with that information what you will. I stated here, well, like, the point I'm trying to make is businesses are not going to suddenly, again, like, build another factory, even if the war does take 4 weeks. Now, if they think it'll last longer, even then, I don't see companies building more production factories, if it lasts a year, you know what I mean? Because it's going to take a year for things to get built, at least, and then people get trained and hired. So, resources are going to the military. That means there's less resources for the average population, the average consumer. So you have the same amount of demand, but half the supply. Prices will go up.
Yep.
There's no getting around
Yep.
that. um, Man, I had something else planned. I couldn't even think of it now. But now, yeah, now I did. Earlier I did state that governments usually tend to, at least our government tends to just what's it called, print money instead of increasing taxes. In other countries, they'll increase taxes. Our country, we will print money. That being said, we've already encountered the possibility of, not possibility, companies are already suing the Trump administration for the tariffs. And I think it was like, what, $280 billion that they're going for. That's going to,
Something.
something like that, trying to get paid back to them because of the tariffs were, um, they were illegal, is what the Supreme Court says. So there's that. Now we have a war. Now we have, oh, man, I hate to say it, dude. I think the Dow might dip below 50,000. I hate to say
And
it.
well, if that happens, then we have to start arresting pedophiles.
Oh man, dude.
Fuck.
No.
No.
It's not supposed to be like this. Um. Oh yeah, another thing is like not only will prices go up just because resources are sent over, but the government has to use a lot of its oil that it would be shipping to you all. It's going to start shipping for its military, even more so. So oil prices go up, your gas price is going to go up. If your gas prices go up, well, it's going to cost more for things to get shipped to you. So not only are the supplies going to increase, but the transportation to it is probably going to make boost things even higher. Any
Mm-hmm.
thoughts?
Uh, man, this is gonna be a interesting set next couple of days because I honestly have no idea if this is really going to affect the market that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, stocks are pre-crashing, which kind of doesn't surprise me. But this is like sort of the last. Uh, the U.S. military has figured out if you want to avoid major electoral consequences for starting wars or doing attacks, you do it on a Friday night so the markets can't react. And then by the time the people come back around and the markets are open again, all of a sudden, it's been like 4 days, and then who even cares anymore, bro? It's been 4 days. Old news, old news. So, yeah, definitely. I don't know. This is. I think my position is very much just sort of waiting to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as far as like the resource stuff, I did see. Oh yeah, I did see that apparently, and this is an unsourced thing on Twitter. Okay, so huge grain of salt. All right, get your
Yeah.
Himalayan salt lamp. Um, the apparently the Pentagon was ordering. Um, they had slowly been building up a snack stockpile so that way they could avoid the effects of the pizza index,
Oh yeah, the pizza
like
index.
yeah, the pizza shop index. So yeah, that's
Here,
a
in
new.
case people don't know, I will. I'm gonna state what the pizza index is. The Pentagon Pizza Index tracks real-time pizza shop popularity around the Pentagon as an unconventional OSINT indicator of military activity. So ideally, not ideally, what it kind of says now. Correlation causation, not sure, but it has a good track record. That should be stated. But what it
Mm-hmm.
is the more like activity at pizza shops around the Pentagon have, you can kind of expect some kind of military action to go on because the idea is that like because we're about to do something with the military, people can't go home, they can't really go out to eat, they kind of have to stay there so they can keep the work going. That way, they check all their bases, whatever. So, what's the most common thing that businesses do to keep their employees happy, but you can do it all at one place? You order pizza. So that's the idea: is
Mm-hmm.
that they're not going home, they're not going out to eat dinner because they're staying at the Pentagon to work. Deliver pizza. So
Yep.
I didn't here. Hold on a second. Let's check it out. What did I say the attack happened? February 28th.
I think so.
Pizzawatch.com pizza.watch.defcon 4. uh Say it's quiet now. I don't care. Domino's. Is there no way to check the past few days? 100% it happened. That's the status. All right. Well, I can't. I don't have time to look into it. But yeah, there's a whole website. You can't see it. I can see it. It's kind of goofy looking. In a weird way, I like it. Very 1980s, 1980s, 1990s kind of looking, but not like actual
Mm.
like normal people website, but like the aesthetic of it. Like Stonks, 1989, yeah,
Yeah.
9800. That's what it looks like. Okay. Well, it's quiet now according to them. So, but the operation's already over, and I can't go back. It won't let me. All right then.
All quiet on
Uh.
the pepperoni front.
So yeah, you make a good point. We won't really know what happens with the stocks until it happens. Well, this video is gonna be posted on Monday, so you all will know by then. Uh, so yeah. Now that being said, segue. I know we said we're
Off a cliff like the creator
yeah,
of Segways.
but